So welcome everybody. I'm Kathy Colaiacovo and I'll be your host today on this masterclass all about marketing and teaching you some tricks and really simple strategies on creating content that converts. So when I talk about converts, I really mean converting to traffic for your website, converting to leads on your email marketing list, and converting to clients. And that's what we're all looking for here. So we're going to get going here. And first, I do want to say I'm actually going to turn my video off because I find it very distracting for me. So I'm going to just say, hello, this is me. I'm going to put the video off and we'll keep it out of the way here on this screen. All right, hold on. There we go. All right. So if you haven't connected with me online, I would love to say hello to you on social media. These are all my Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter profile handles, so you can definitely connect with me there. I know several of you did already and said, hey, I'm looking forward to the session, and that was awesome. So thanks for doing that, and I hope to talk to others as well online. It'll come into play a little bit more towards the end of the session here today when we get into one of the lessons I'm going to share with you too. So I do want to remind you all that we'll be here for about an hour or so. I can definitely stick around for a little bit after that. If there's more questions than the question time I've allotted for it, not a problem. I'm also going to give everybody who is here live on the call a tip sheet, a marketing tip sheet that I created for you to help you with some of your marketing and making sure that you're covering all the bases. So stick around for that and we'll get to that at the end. And I'm going to draw a name from everybody here live at the end, and I'm going to give away one of my digital products, and I'll let you know what that is when we get to the end of the session. So you can grab your handout if you haven't already. Natasha is going to post it there in the chat again and share that with you so that you've got it in there. And we'll get moving on there. It is a fillable PDF, so you can take your notes in that online if you want to. And I'm going to give you a quick little overview of the roadmap for today here. So we're going to start off. I'm going to share with you what I like to call the content marketing edge, something that I think it's really important for you to understand and know about before you start doing your marketing. So I think that's a critical piece as well. So we're going to make sure that you understand that as we get along here. Then I'm going to share with you what I call those 3 C's of creating content that converts. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about how you can level up your marketing. And then we're going to move into giving you that special tip sheet that I was talking about. And I've got a secret bonus lesson I'm going to share for you as well. It's something that's going to tie a lot of this all together. And then we're going to do the draw for the prize and the live Q&A at the end. So that's where I want to start off with you all today and move into the session here. So I would just say that if you really want to get the most out of this class, feel free to pay attention as much as you can and turn off all of your distractions so that you're not multitasking and that you're really paying attention so that you can get the most out of this session and the most out of what we're doing here today. I'm going to just click one thing and I know it's going to do something to me here. So just one second. I have lost my second screen. That's all right. So first of all, get ready to sit back, get a little bit comfy. I'm going to try to teach you as much as I can in this session and make sure that you walk away from here with some actionable steps. And I do want to let you know you are 100% in the right place for this hour with me. If you are someone that has a business that you market online, typically you're probably going to offer a service or a program to your clients. And it's a really good place for you to be, especially if you feel like your marketing isn't working. And that's one of the big issues that a lot of people have when they're doing the marketing for themselves and they're doing the marketing for their own business. Is you're often not sure what is it you're supposed to be doing? How do you get it working? How do you get it working so that it does what you want it to do? And so that is really what we're going to be covering today, some tips to help you get over some of that. and really looking at ways that you can get more clients into your programs and services. So that's my goal for what we're going to do here on today's session. Now, I just want to share a little bit about me if you haven't met me before, and I've got a lot of new names here on the call, so that's great to see. I am Kathy Colaiacovo. That is my married name. It used to be Cook. And I'm an online marketing strategist and coach and the president of Pepper at Marketing Services. And if you ever follow me online, you'll know that this little dog here is actually my dog named Pepper. And she became the namesake of my company when I went from being a virtual assistant and having a team of VAs that looked after clients' work and moved more into online marketing, training, and strategy with my clients. I like to laugh and have fun with my work and everything I do in my day. And you can see a little bit about that if you ever look for the hashtag Kathy's Kitchen Moments on Facebook. You'll see lots of my epic fails in the kitchen. Ultimately, I'm a good cook, but there's lots of fun and interesting ways that I get there. I am also the queen, known as the queen of typos. I can challenge even the best proofreader with lots of different typos. And I always say, typically we'll find one or two in the presentation as we go through it. Even though I've gone through it, had it proofed, I'm just really good at making it work so well. I may be slightly obsessed with Kevin Costner. Actually, here, I'll go back on video here and show you, if you haven't seen, I have a little stand-up cardboard of him that one of my clients sent, and I may or may not have a little pillow on my chair here in the office as well. So it's just, I had a time where I had an opportunity to get really close to him once. I was always a fan of Kevin Costner, but as you'll see throughout the presentation here, he takes on a little bit of slightly, people are saying, he takes on a little bit of a personality sometimes in my presentations and my marketing. Not sure why that is. But he's a really great actor and an even better country singer, I think. I'm also the mom of 3 boys, 4 if you add in my husband Marco, and then we've got our rescue dogs, Lola, who's 15, and Pepper as well, who you'll see here on a lot of the marketing. She's part of my brand, and that's how I keep her into the marketing and everything that I'm doing with the business. So that is a little bit about me, and today I'm going to share with you a little bit at the end about my Content Marketing Masters Academy. It is open for registration again. It's a little bit new and improved from the group that we had last year. I've added a few more lessons into it, extended the time a bit. So if it's okay with you, when we get towards the end here, I'm going to talk a little bit about the program and let you know how you can get involved in it and how it might help you with some of your online marketing and content marketing woes that we're looking at here. So I just want to have you sort of think a little bit about some of these things that I've got listed here, that what would happen to your life if some of them happened to you? These are some of the results I've actually helped my clients get with their businesses through marketing strategy and tactics that I teach them and train them about and help them implement for some of them, or watch them and help them implement through my marketing membership and my programs. So these are things that have actually happened to people that I know that have listened to me, followed my advice, my guidance, the strategy that I share. And these aren't always big things, I like to tell people. So I really like to qualify that. Yes, there's some phenomenal numbers in this list here. You know, who wouldn't love to sell $60,000 worth of a group program in 45 days? Count me up for that one. But I've also had great successes with people that are looking for the types of results that they need for their business. And maybe it's not a 7-figure business or a 6-figure business even. There are a lot of business owners out there who are looking for a good, steady business that they can rely on, that they can stay in business for a long time. And I just want to say, you know, that is something that your goal is your goal. And so don't ever let anybody take your thunder away. So if you were the person who had, you know, filled an 8-person workshop, which is somebody that was in my Inner Circle membership program did, because of some advice that I gave her to do, she was so thankful. That is exactly what she wanted to happen. She had an 8-person workshop she was doing, and she wanted to get 8 people in it. And we helped her make that happen. So when you think about your goals and what you want to get in life and what you want to get out of your business, make sure that what you're looking for is what you want. And that's what you want to do then, is take the steps and do the actions that are going to get you there. So these are some of the things that have happened to my clients and what we've been doing with their work or students. And it really can be you when you learn some of the lessons I'm going to teach you of creating marketing content that converts. There is a lot of key principles in what I'm teaching here that can be implemented right away in almost any business. And that's what I really want to see you guys do today, is get those action steps happening and making it all go through, converting it from what you learned here today into implementable, that's not a word, steps and actions that you can implement right away in your business. And that's what I want to see happen with you guys today. So let's get into this. Now, the first thing you need to know when you look at doing marketing online or improving the marketing online that you've been doing right now is you need to understand how all the marketing content connects with other aspects of your business. And that's where I said I was going to talk about a thing that I call the content marketing edge. Well, that's what we're going to get into a little bit here, because if you know and you understand this and you understand how this edge works, then you'll understand how all the different pieces of your marketing are going to fit together and come into play when you actually put it out there and publish it online. So there's 3 elements to the content marketing edge. They are your website and the pages on your website. So think of those as one thing. Your marketing content that you put out online, and then the search engines. So they are a part of this content marketing edge. And knowing how all the dots connect between each of these is going to be critical for you to put your marketing out in a way that it makes sense and does the work and the job that you want it to do for you. So when we look at your website pages, the thing that you really need to understand about websites is that any page on your website, whether it's a blog post, your home page, your about page, your contact page, anything that you've got there, if you've got a podcast and you put your show notes on a page on your website, it's actually like a blog post. But the thing is that you need to understand is every one of those, when you put them up on your website, it's new content on your website that is being published in a way that the search engines can find it and register it and index it. So website pages are pages of content that you're putting out there for the search engines and people, of course, to find. But I just want you to keep that in your head for a moment. Marketing content is the content that you're posting on your website, on your social media channels, and in your emails, newsletters. So when you're looking at marketing content, that's the kind we're looking at when we talk about it from an online point of view. Now, there's definitely marketing content you can do in a digital format, printed content like that, but we're really going to be focusing on the online aspect of it here. And then the search engines, or as I like to call it, the Google relationship. So this is key and important for you to understand, because you need to know that when you're thinking about the search engines, they are looking at your website. So you've got your website out there with your blogs on it, or your podcast show notes, or your web pages. Ideally, you're going to be filling those pages of content or blog posts with keyword-rich content, okay? Those keywords and that content should all be related to the main topic of your website. And what I mean by that is if you are, let's say, a virtual assistant and you're writing about ways to help clients work smarter, that's great. That's sort of the main topic of your website. So the blog content that you put on there, you want to make sure that the content you're putting on there is related to that somehow. You don't want to be writing about bicycling and tips for using or tips for learning how to be a bicyclist and ride long. Okay, I am so not into the fitness area. I totally messed that up. Let's say you want to be a triathlete. So your content on there, you don't want to be blogging about being a triathlete who's doing bike runs and swimming and running and all that, when your content on the website is really about being a virtual assistant. You don't want to be a dietitian and have a business and a website with content all about nutrition and health and everything, and be putting other content on there that's 100% not related. So you want to make sure that these things are all connected, that the content you put on the website is really what that main topic of your website is about. And every time you put new content on there, so every time you put a new blog post up or a new podcast show note, or even a new web page on your content, it's new content that the search engines can index and find. And the goal is to use the marketing content you put online to make sure that the search engines are registering clicks to your website, visits to your website, so that they know you're there and they index your website in the back end of their search engine registries. And then what happens is when somebody goes to the Google and types in, how do I, do something? The goal is for you to be found in some of those online searches. I actually had an incident just recently where somebody in a coaching program I'm in, when I came onto one of our calls, he was like, oh my gosh, Kathy, I was looking for something online and I did a search online and your blog came up as the top answer. And that's how it works. I have a website all about online marketing and tips for online marketing. I had posted a blog about some online marketing and how to do it better, make it work for your business. And he went out onto a search engine, Googling for help doing that very thing, came to my website and found me. That's what the Content Marketing Edge is all about. Knowing and understanding that you want to put content on your website that the search engines can find and match to what people are searching for online as well. So does that make sense to everybody? I just want to check on that because I know that can be a little bit tricky. Nicole, yeah, so you're probably trying to fill that out in the handout. So the Content Marketing Edge is all about, here, I'll look at it here. It's knowing and understanding how your website connects with your marketing content and the search engines, okay? That's critical for you guys to understand and know that. I have a free guide that you can find at peppertmarketing.com/guide. If you haven't gotten it yet, it's my Foundations of Online Marketing or Content Marketing Guide. It explains this in a little bit more detail. It is something that we cover in my Content Marketing Masters Academy course as well. But it's really important for you to understand these three concepts here to make sure that you know how they're all going to connect so that when you're putting content out there, you're thinking about this so that it can all match up and ultimately more people can find you. So the best way to use this edge, this is where I need to learn to do my presentations with a spot for my video, is really creating and publishing new marketing content on a regular basis. And it's content that will direct people to you and build your website traffic and new leads on your email marketing list. And that's what we're going to get into here now. Sorry, I get talking and I get dry. Now, the issue is that with most businesses, service-based businesses, coaches, dietitians, virtual assistants, when it comes to this, you typically are stressed out by marketing. I love marketing. It's what I do for a living. It's my thing. I like doing it. I like teaching it. I like empowering other people to understand it better. But for most people, it's stressing you out. And that's why we're going to learn to put these 3 C's of creating content so that it converts to customers into play here so that you can be able to do this. Marsha's yelling, yes, yes, exactly. All right. So I'm going to just stop here for 1 second, you guys. I am totally lost on my presentation here. So just give me 1 second. Somehow my second screen is not showing. It's making me mad. There, I've got it now. All right, perfect. I just like to know what's coming up next. So I like to have the 2 screens going here. So the first C of creating content that converts is creating effective marketing content for your business. So you can fill this out in your handout if you have that there. And when I say effective marketing content, I mean creating content that has a purpose and a goal, creating content that speaks to your ideal client, and creating content that uses their words and not yours. So your words are words that you typically are going to want to teach people a little later on, because more often than not, your words and what you do and how you help people aren't necessarily the words that they use when they first are looking for you. And I'm going to use the dietitian world as an example. This is a world I live in every day. I work with a lot of dietitians and nutritionists. And there is a group of dietitians that specialize in intuitive eating. So they're all about intuitive eating, no diets, health at every size, body positivity. It's a whole movement and it's phenomenal. I've learned so much from them. But when people don't know what that term is, they're typically looking to get a dietitian or nutritionist to help them lose weight or get healthy, that type of thing. So when you're putting your content together, you need to use their words, not necessarily yours. So I want to make sure that that's clear to everybody. And if that example makes sense, I guess. You want to make sure that the content that you write and the words that you speak in and you talk about and that you put together for what you're putting out there is words that will resonate with your ideal client. So that's really critical for you to understand when it comes to creating this marketing content. That's all about creating content with a purpose and a goal versus creating random acts of content, which hilariously, I didn't know, but today is actually Random Acts of Kindness Day. And so when I talk about marketing content all the time, I'm always talking about don't put out random acts of content. This is not what you want to be doing. You want to create content with a purpose and a goal. And when we're looking at my video just keeps going the wrong way. Marketing content typically effective marketing content has three purposes for you. It's going to amplify your message. So it's going to make sure people hear you, know that you're out there. They see your brand. They know what's going on. They know you're there. Then you want to make sure that your content is also converting people to leads and sales. So when I say that, you want to make sure that you're creating content that actually sends people back to your website or tells them about what you do. So it can't just always be happy, healthful content that has no purpose or goal behind it. You always want to create a purposeful piece of content when you're putting it out there online. And the other thing that your content's going to be doing is helping engage with people. So your content is meant to be put out online so it incites people to communicate back and forth, to like a button, to put a comment out there, to talk with you, to engage with you. And when you put these three things into it, then you're typically creating good and effective marketing content. And so that is really important when you're putting content out there. Often I'll look at content when I'm doing an assessment for someone, and I will find that they're putting all sorts of stuff out there about other people, but never anything about them. Or they're putting way too much sales stuff about their own things, and they're never trying to engage. So you want to have a really good mix of this kind of content that you're putting out there. You want to make sure some of that's talking about you, your expertise, how you help people, and that they see what you can do. You want to make sure some of it's converting them into leads and traffic. You want to make sure that some of it's engaging them. So you have to have a good mix of it. And when you do that, you're creating good and effective content. The purpose of it is really, like I said, website traffic, leads. You're going to be building a good amount of credibility, that know, like, trust factor. People are going to get to know you. There's a couple people in this session here that have probably connected with me online. They're not surprised at all to see a thing of Kevin Costner standing behind here on my screen because they know a little bit about me because I engage with people online. It's that kind of purpose behind your marketing content that makes effective content that will help lead to turning that content into sales. And it's content that speaks to your ideal client. So that's where you have to get into things and really deep down know who your client is and have a profile document on your ideal client. Write down, I know it's something that a lot of people don't like to do, is an exercise on knowing your ideal client. It's actually an entire module of content that we have in the Content Marketing Masters Academy is all about knowing your client. We use this back in the day when I worked for a bank here in Canada as well. Any business worth its merit is going to really know their clients. So if you've never taken the time to do this exercise and work on it, you really need to, because knowing who they are is going to make it a lot easier for you to talk to them and create effective content to reach them. Then you want to pepper some keywords and hashtags into your marketing content. So these are elements of online marketing that are going to come into play in making sure that you create effective content. Keywords are some of those main words that people are going to look for you online. How do I use social media? Where can I find a business coach? Different words like that. So some of those are going to be keywords that people are going to use in a search engine. Sometimes keywords are going to be words that people think about when it comes to you. Sometimes keywords are going to be your location, if that's important to your business. So when you're looking about keywords and talking about those, they're words that people are going to use as a phrase. It might be a few words like how do I, whatever, social media marketing tips, online marketing tips. Those are some of my keywords. Intuitive eating tips. Those are some for some of the dietitians. Weight loss management. Those are keywords. So your content that you create has to include some of these in it. They will help people find you in your website. And hashtags are really more of an online thing. So hashtags are clickable links. So when you're on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, doesn't matter where you are, a hashtag has the pound symbol in front of it and then one word. There's no spaces in these. So for instance, online marketing is 2 words when we talk, but it's 1 word as a hashtag. Online marketing tips is 3 words, but it's 1 word as a hashtag. So these are clickable links, and people often do searches for them or use them as a way to find people that have the information that they're looking for. So hashtags are going to play a role in the content that you create as well. So those are the 3 things that you want to do. And this is where you want to write down your action step for the first C of creating content that converts, which is to create effective marketing content. So you need to know your ideal client, you need to know your keywords, and then you want to create content that's going to amplify, convert, and engage your community online. Effective marketing content has a purpose, a goal, and is peppered with keywords and hashtags that will help people discover your content. So I'm going to stop here for a sec because I know some of you might want to screenshot this. You are going to get this. We're going to send a replay out, so you will have this information coming to you as well. But I just want to let you know what this is. So these are some of the things that you're going to need to put into action after this lesson today. And speaking of action, the second C in creating content that converts is what I call calling people to action and moving them through your marketing funnel. A marketing funnel, some people know what it is, some people don't. It's basically a path that you're planning out for people to take a little bit of a journey with you and your brand or your business. You're really taking them from finding out who you are and being aware about you to maybe signing up for your email marketing list and then converting into a client. And when we look at a marketing funnel, it usually goes top down, like this picture here. So you'll usually want traffic to come to your website, maybe to your lead generation page where they can sign up for your lead magnet, get to your thank you page that you have for them, get onto your email marketing list where you might nurture them with a few emails after they sign up, make them an offer, and then they turn into a sale. This is really how a marketing funnel works. And the goal of your second C of creating content that converts is to try and create content that takes people all the way down that funnel. So getting traffic means talking on social media with links to your website, putting content on your blog so that you can talk on social media and send people to your blog, which is your website. So you see how all that works? All of it is about planning this all and putting it into play so that people come from somewhere where you don't know where they are, who they are, what they are. They hear about you, and then they go down through this funnel. And the 3 elements that help you work on this is ideally having a lead magnet that's something your ideal client would love to know or have. So that's your freebie that you might have. And I'm going to share a couple examples in a minute. Another part of putting people and calling them to action through your marketing funnel is putting calls to action out there. I was saying earlier, when I assess some people's online presence, often I'm going to find one or the other. They never sell or they oversell. Selling is a call to action, putting out something, click here to sign up for my masterclass. Those of you that found it on social media and came to this masterclass from that, it's because there was a call to action somewhere that you clicked on and brought you here to show up to this class today. So that's part of directing people through your funnel. I sent you somehow to the website traffic. You came to a lead generation page, which was for this masterclass, and then you got onto my email list. That is directing people to go through that marketing funnel. And putting out the calls to action are important. And the lead magnet, having a freebie like that is going to be one of the best tools that you can have to make this happen. You don't want to be out there posting online for people to sign up and come into your program and buy your service that might be a few $100s, $500, $1,000, whatever it is. If they don't know who you are, sending them directly there is not going to be the ideal way to go. Sending them to something free that they can get a little bit of taste of who you are, what you have to offer is the best way. So that's why lead magnets are one of the best ways to use calls to action in your marketing content, because you have something easy for them to go to. It's something your ideal client is typically going to need. It will solve a problem for them. And because you have that way to solve that problem for them, it entices them to hand over their name and email address, which is how you get them on your list. And they got there first because they came to your website and they were website traffic. So these calls to action are critical to putting people through that marketing funnel. That lead magnet is really important. This was something I actually didn't have in the Content Marketing Masters Academy in the last group that we did. And it's a module that I've added in because I realized as we were going through it the last time, how important it is that everyone have one. So now I've got a whole section on that, on how to create one, an ideal one for your clients so that you can get out there and use that as part of your marketing plan. These calls to action, when you're doing them, most of them when you're putting out marketing content should be going to a lead magnet, something free. There's a couple other things you could do. Definitely booking a consult is another way, because that's another free kind of option for people. Applying for a program is another way as well. Getting a coupon code. A lot of stores or shops will use that, get 10% off your first discount, that kind of thing. Taking a quiz. Quizzes are phenomenal. People love to take quizzes and figure out something about themselves. So that's a good type of lead magnet or, a call to action you can be putting out there. Watching a YouTube video you have, connecting on social media, posting a comment, liking, engaging. Buying a program or course, often I put as the last one here on purpose, because you're not going to be putting that out as a call to action as much as you would want to be for something that's free. And here's why. You could put out 10 calls to action. Let's say 10 people sign up or click on your call to action. If it's to sign up and buy a program and they don't know you, not very many are going to do that. If it's to sign up and get something free that they can get to know you a little bit more, your odds are getting better of getting more signups that way and more leads that way. And that's why you want to create that content with the calls to action that send people to a lead magnet, because you're going to get more people signing up that way than you would directly for a program. And then the goal is we're going to do something else with them, which I'm going to talk about in the next section here. So the whole point of creating content with calls to action is to direct them to and through your marketing funnel. And so when we look at the action step here for this part of calling people to action, you want to plan out your marketing funnel so that you ideally have a lead magnet. If you don't have one now, you can build one, create one. It should be appealing to your ideal client, and then you need to have a plan to move them into your funnel with a variety of different ways. So maybe they're going to read a blog on your website. Maybe they're going to connect with you on social media. Maybe they're going to sign up for the lead magnet. As you get them into all those different places, you ultimately want to have calls to action going to them to get them on your email list, or to get them, if you don't have an email list, connecting on social media so you at least have the contacts. I 100% encourage you all to have a lead magnet at some point so that you can be building those leads. In the online world, it's more important than ever to be doing that. And a lot of business owners, and I will say especially virtual assistants, because I was in that arena for many years, they often think that this doesn't apply to them either, but it can help make or break your business and the longevity and the continuity of it if you are doing a lot of what you actually do for your own clients as well. So never forget the value of having a lead magnet to get people into a way to know who you are, get to understand what you have to offer, and in a free way. So the third C is all about communicating and nurturing your community on a consistent basis. So when I said we're going to talk about nurturing them afterwards, that's where we're going to talk about this here, is really communicating with them. And it can be in a variety of ways. The first thing that I think is really important is that you create consistent new content on your website. So the third way to create marketing content that converts is to start by creating consistent content, having a blog on your website, having something there that you can direct people to. Ideally, the blog will have a call to action to a lead magnet. So you need to have some sort of email marketing list and system that when people do connect with you, you can get them on your list so that you can nurture and talk and engage to them. So engaging, I know Donna just asked a question, how do you get them to engage after the lead magnet? You have their email, but there's no engagement. Your regular newsletters or emails, Donna, are actually a way to engage people. You're still talking with them. It's a little one-sided for sure, but they made that first step with you, and so it's you engaging them. So that's one piece of how you engage with people. The next part is really having that consistent social media presence, okay? So that is a key part of making this all work. I'm not saying you have to be on social media and share your entire life and the insides and everything of all what we call that too much information to be sharing out there. I'm talking in a personal, professional way. And that level is going to be different with everybody. But I will tell you that the most successful clients that I've had that get the most results from their time spent online marketing are the clients who have always been the most open to getting out there, engaging, commenting, liking, getting in groups, talking to them, and networking with people on their social media channels. 100%, their results on the back end are better than most people that don't do that, because they're getting out there and they're engaging with the people that are connected to them online. And ultimately, they get led one way or another by a call to action back to do business with them. So that consistent social media presence is going to be really important. So you want to create the consistent new content on your website. I like to do that with blogs myself. Some people do podcasts. However you do that, some people do YouTube videos and have a YouTube channel that way. That's another way as well. New content that you can send to your community is important. It might be the blog, the podcast. Some people ask if new pages on the website are okay, but it's okay, but it's not ideal, because a new page is really most pages on a website are kind of a static type of thing. You're going to put it there, you're going to update it once, and it's going to be there. A blog post, you're going to put one today, next month, the month after. And I do say weekly. I will tell you, I do feel that you should be looking at weekly. If that's too much, go for monthly. Monthly, aim to go every two weeks after that, and then aim for weekly. So gradually build it up and get it out there. You want to have an email marketing plan to nurture that list. So that's where I was saying, Donna, you want to send out other newsletters and emails to them as well. That's going to be part of engaging them and getting and nurturing them so that they know you're there and they know you have information to help them. These can be newsletters. They can be, hey, I've got a new podcast up, go listen to it. Maybe it's some special events emails. So I had definitely some extra emails going out in the last few weeks about this masterclass that I'm hosting. It can be follow-up sequences. So when somebody signs up for a guide, I typically send them a few emails after that to try and nurture them and teach them a little bit more. They get to know me and they get to know what I have to offer. So it's all about building that know, like, and trust, and really building all of that up to getting them to know and understand more about what you offer. Staying active on social media is really important, and getting out there and networking and talk to them. And when I talk about being active, I mean, plan some content, schedule some networking time, and get on social media. This is what builds the relationships, and it really is critical to making it work. So your action step 3 for communicating consistently to create content that converts is all about having a plan for sharing. You can fill in the blank here, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly content of value to your community on your website, on your social media channels, and nurture and engage with them along the way. Okay. If monthly is too much for you, maybe go for every other month or every quarter. But it is going to be important, especially if you are looking to bring people back to your website. And when I talk about the content, let's just use blogs as an example. That's one of the best and easiest ways for most people to get content on their website. That's not difficult to put up there. And it's really all about just taking the brilliance out of your head and the tips and the information that you share with your clients every day and putting it into words and sharing it out there online. It's something that I teach in the course as well, but I really do believe that most people, when you're taught some of the strategies, you can learn how to create and write blogs. And so if you can do that, it gives you a base for all of your other content. And just so I'm clear, I teach a 7-step system on repurposing content and reusing it to save time and money. I write one new thing a week, and that becomes the base of everything. It's my newsletter, it's my blog, it's my social media posts, it's my videos, it's my Instagram stories, my Instagram feed, all of it. It's all coming from the same place. So you're not creating a ton of content all the time. You create one piece and use it in many ways. Once you learn how to do that, things can be a lot easier when it comes to your marketing. Whoops, moved ahead. So those are your 3 C's of creating content that converts to customers. Create effective content, call people to action, and communicate consistently. That is going to be the make or break for you. So how do you guys feel about that? Do you feel that that's something that you can, I know it's going to take a little while and it takes a little bit of training to learn how to do it. But there's usually something in any one of those 3 C's that people can feel that they can make a change and do. So maybe you weren't selling it all on social media, add a little bit in. Maybe you were all selling, add a little bit of engagement in there and nurture and talk to people. So that's something that I really think is important for people to know and understand how to make that happen. So we've got a few things. Yep, that's great. All in. I need to funnel an email. Yes, yes. Okay. So it is okay. And I'm just going to let you know we're at 1:45. So we're going to go for a little bit more here. I'm going to give away that tip sheet in a few minutes and do the prize draw as well. And I just want to let you know, I know that looking at this, like Donna was asking, where can we learn how to do that? Repurpose one blog from everything else. So that's actually something that I teach, Donna, in my course. But it is really important that you go through this. And I know for most people, you run into roadblocks. So it's like, I don't know what to do. I'm stuck, questions like exactly like Donna has there. Cheryl saying, my lead page needs the freebie to be right out there. Exactly. These are key parts of your online marketing foundations. And when you have them all in play, putting these 3 lessons of creating the content that converts into action works so much better. When people are saying my marketing isn't working, it's usually because there's a few things broken in what you're doing. So when you want to up-level your marketing, there's 3 ways most people go about it. You work hard on your own, you try to figure it out. Typically, you're going to spend a lot of time doing it, and then you give up. Probably some of you have been there and are done that at this point now. Some of you will sign up or have signed up for a course, then sometimes you forget about it because it was all on your own to do and it's thrown off on the virtual shelf in your computer and it's just sitting there. And again, you haven't moved forward. Some people like to look for a combo program, which is what I offer. I offer video training and then group sessions where we cover what you learned, and then I'm there to help you along the way. And that's what's in my Content Marketing Masters Academy program. And that's the piece where I can help people the most. It is a program that is a combo of video training and lessons with me. And the lessons with me are not the teaching of it. I used to do that. I will tell you, I used to teach for boot camps for social media all the time. And I would teach the class in an hour and 15 minutes. We'd have 15 minutes of Q&A, and most people were just brain busted by the end of it. So what I do now is I have this combo of video training along with the calls to help you put the video training into action. And that's what the program's all about. It's all about me being there to guide you along the way and help you implement the lessons that are in the academy. And I really have to keep moving this thing around here. When I look at the program, it's really a program that is ideal for service-based business owners, and it helps you learn from the beginning what your foundations are and putting them all into place, and making sure that you know and understand how to create and write blogs or podcast show notes if you do a podcast, and make sure that you are 100% into understanding and knowing how to create the marketing content, how to put it on your website, how to get it out there, and then doing it in a way that you're not constantly chasing the, what do I post online now? What do I do here today? You've got a plan for it, and it's a lot easier to make it happen. And that's what I teach in the program, is I teach you how to really start with the basics. We get those in play. We get the lead magnet and everything else into play, and then we move into creating content and then marketing it online. So there's 4 different sections in the program. It has 6 calls with me. So there's a monthly group call. And then we also have a Facebook group that people can ask questions in anytime in between sessions. So you're really never left without an answer to the next meeting for sure. And the content comes out once a month, and it helps you in that, or once a week, sorry, not once a month. The 15 lessons come out once a week, so it keeps you on track. And it's important to me that we do it that way, because I want you to make sure that you understand each step before you move to the next one. That's going to be the most success you're going to have with a program like this. And just to give you a quick peek inside, we start with the big picture of online marketing, and then we move into a whole module on knowing your client. These are key to making sure that you've got everything into play so that what you're going to do is going to work. Then we look at goals and tracking numbers and SEO and keywords. And a lot of people freak out on this one. I actually show you how to set up your own Google Analytics and read them and understand the reports, because that's key to tracking your numbers and understanding your stats so that you know what you need to do to change and improve things and make them better so that you can get better results as well going along on the way here. And it's actually a lot easier than you might think to set up your own Google Analytics. Most people will realize that after they go through this. And it's a lot easier than you think to read the reports and understand them. That is key for you knowing what's working and not on your website. We get into knowing your offer, what you have to sell, your programs or services, making sure you can do a good elevator pitch, whether it's online or in person, and knowing what you have as a transformation for your clients. So whether you take them from being, all about diets to never wanting to diet again because they know how to live in the world with the intuitive eating principles and go through life that way, or whether or not, you've got clients, if you're a virtual assistant and they are people that are struggling to get all their work done, and knowing what transformation you give them by providing them with the services that you have, or business coaches that change people's lives with the expertise and the guidance that they give them. So knowing your offer and having a lead magnet that attracts that ideal client is going to be critical. Then we get into the online marketing content section of the training. This is 5 modules where we cover creating a content marketing plan, and then writing content for blogs, for newsletters, for podcasts, and then optimizing it when you put it on your website. So when you put a blog up, what are the things that you need to do formatting wise to make sure that it is optimized so the search engines recognize it more? So there's a lot of different tricks that I teach you in that. They're not hard. They're easy and applicable, whether you have a Squarespace website, a WordPress website, a do-it-yourself website. As long as there's elements that you can do to some of the formatting, you can do this with your content, so you learn how to put that in play. You'll learn how to write content for social media. Believe it or not, most people don't understand there's actually a knack to this, and making sure that you're putting content out there in a way that will do more than just posting that random act of content. We get into my art of assembly line scheduling. This is something I have perfected over about 13 years in business. I have an entire system on how to schedule content in as little time as possible so that you are putting content out there. It's not faking it online, but you're going to use that content in the next module, which is all about networking and engaging and talking to people online. So we talk about, and I show you different ways on how to do that. And then at the very end here, we get into reviewing and redoing to improve everything. So this is where you'll take what you can find in your stats that we learned back at the beginning in the foundations and be able to understand what you can do. So when you have a blog that goes wild, what do you do with it? Do you just let it be, or do you go in and optimize it? Well, of course you go in and optimize it. And I show you how to do that kind of stuff so that if you have something that's getting traction, and some of my top blogs, I will tell you, are 3 and 4 years old. When that happens, you want to know what to do with it to make the most of it, to get more traffic and get more leads into your business from something that's happening that you may not have even known about if you weren't looking and checking for it. And then the final module is all about the 7-step marketing system. So this is my system where I really teach people how to take it all, how to do, Donna was asking, how to repurpose it all and put it all into play in that really simple way of creating content once and then putting it out there online in various ways so that you're not spending as much time. So all told, there's about 20 hours of video training. It comes out over 15 weeks. So it is something I tell people, this is a program that's good for you if you've got the mind space that you're going to set aside a couple hours every week to work on it, to do the lessons, and then to do some of the implementation and the homework. That I do give homework in the modules. It's up to you to do it, but that's how you're going to move forward for sure. And I know that somebody was asking about, is this something that a VA can do? I think, Donna, I know Kate was in my section in my program last fall, and I had 2 other VAs in there as well. And for virtual assistants, one thing that I tell you is that one of the things that you'll learn in this program is stuff that you can take and apply to your business and do for your clients as well. So I think that's key to think about too when you're in that industry for sure. And when you're doing this, I know it's hard and it's tricky. So I do have some bonuses to help you do a little bit better and get more out of it. So the first one is my Invest in You bonus. So if you want to pay in full for the program, you will get an extra 30-minute private bonus session with me. Okay. I also have a bonus for everybody in the program. I will do a video review of your blog setup. So you submit your blog URL and I go and do a video review and let you know what you need to optimize and fix and improve on that. Everyone will also get my annual marketing content planner on this, and I'm going to give one of those away in a minute here. But this is the planner that will help you get started creating your own content marketing plan. And it even has 500 pieces of ready-to-made content that you can use to just copy, paste, and post on there as well. And then this is something new that I added. I want to make sure that if you're writing and creating content that you get the opportunity to have me review it, check it, and let you know what you need to improve or optimize before you publish it online. So this is a bonus that everyone will get in the program as well. So that adds up to about $617 worth of bonuses. But I was looking at a few things too, and I thought, well, I'm going to add another bonus in. So if you register by midnight tonight, I will also throw in another one-on-one private strategy session with me that will help you get a bigger boost with your marketing. It's something I know Anne did in the last group, and she said it was phenomenal how much she got out of it. She keeps reviewing the video that she got to keep, putting everything that we talked about into action. And one of the other things that I did add in this last time with this program was I noticed that we really didn't do it and talk about it, and it's a big foundation. And I've really noticed more and more with engaging with people online, people don't have their social media profiles set up effectively. So if you register for the Academy before the 22nd of February, you'll also get a review of up to 5 of your social media profiles. So I will go on your profiles, I will look at them, it's all on video. I'll tell you what to optimize, to change, to add, so that it will help more people find you as well. So that gives you a whole little bundle of stuff that you can take as add-ons to the program. And the total value of all of those is just over $1,000. And just to recap for you, so you get 15 weeks of training, and then you get another really 3 months with me to help you implement that. So as you've gone through the training, now you have time to put it in action. And I'm there on the group calls or in the Facebook group to help you get it done. There's tons of templates and checklists and resources that will help you through there as well, along with everything in the bonus bundle. And the program fee is $1,500 or $1,497. You can take the 6-pay option as well, which is $297 a month. So that makes it a little bit easier. You can get started right away for $297. And that will help you make sure that you're putting the time in that you need to, so that you start becoming, I would love to have you as one of my new success stories that I could put up here as well. That would be awesome to, have some new stories from this next group that I can put in here and share the next time we talk about this. So just getting back to things here, we're going to get into the Q&A. Natasha, if you want to put, I have that bonus marketing tip sheet there for everybody. So if you want to put a link to that in the chat. And what this is, you guys, I'm just going to show you what it is here. It's a marketing basics checklist. So it's something that has a whole little list of different questions that you can take and put your website through, look at your marketing content, look at your email marketing, your lead magnet, your lead generation page. So it's just a way to get some starting stuff started for you and a little bit of information. So Natasha's put that into the session there, and you can go in and grab that here. It doesn't go out in the email. This is something I give away live on the call. So you want to make sure you click it right now and then save it to your computer. Okay. And no, that's not the bonus, Amy. But I am going to say, the reason I do that marketing checklist is because Kevin is really the only person who can build it, and they will come. The rest of us have to do our marketing to make it all work. But the bonus lesson I wanted to share with you all here is really, I would be honored to have you in the Academy program and to help you put all of your content into play. But at a very minimum, I want to see you have a content marketing plan. I can tell you right now that this is the absolute kicker to saving time and money. And when you are an entrepreneur, time and money are your biggest assets and your most valuable resources. If you can save them both so that you can make more money, that's awesome. And so having that content plan is key. And this is what I'm going to give away here on the class today. Natasha, I know, is in the background. She was going to do a random.org draw and pick a name out from somebody here. So what I'm giving away is one of my ultimate marketing content planners. So it has a year of content in it that you can use as a guide. There's a video lesson that comes with it as well on what kind of content you should use and make and have and all of that. So all of that's going to be in there. And Natasha, did you draw a name for somebody?
I did. The winner of the marketing content planner is Janice.
Janice. Is it Janice Inspiring Change Holistic
Yes.
Nutrition? Okay, awesome. Yeah. Janice, congratulations. So that's fabulous. So what we'll do, Janice, is Natasha will email you a special link that will get you signed up to the content planner. And it will be free, but you'll just have to go in and put in your name and info and username and password. So we have your email, so she'll send that off to you. Actually, Janice, maybe give me your last name so that we can make sure we match you up to the email. Or send me, I just realized we don't have your last name on there. So just send chat to the panelists here, and we'll make sure that we have the right one. Anybody else that's interested in checking it out, it's peppermarketing.com/planner, and you can see it there. I sell that for $67, and it comes with a big template, all sorts of content in there, and then a video lesson or two on using the planner as well. Janice Amiro, awesome name. That's like a Nova Scotian name. You know that, right? I have, yeah, or PEI. I think that's the PEI spelling of it. Acadian. It is Acadian. Absolutely. Awesome. So my last words of advice to you here are really don't let fear stop you from marketing your business. Get help or get training, and you will get it done. I promise you. It's not as easy, it's not as hard as you think it is, and it can be easy to put it in play with all of this. These are your 3 C's here that you want to remember about. And you want to remember to create effective content, call people to action, and communicate consistently. And those action steps are here as well for you to remember to do, to put into play. Those are your 3 action steps too. And yeah, Beverly, I'll get Natasha to put that link up there for you as well. It's pepperitmarketing.com/planner. And so we'll head into the Q&A here. Thanks, everybody. All right. So I know we've got a couple of people asking for links there, which is awesome. Oh, and Kate is actually here. Kate saying you will love the course. She took it later. Awesome. So we've got some questions coming up here. And Natasha, you're getting some links out there. Donna's asking, what are reasonable open rates for emails? Donna, a lot of it will depend on the industry that you're in, but typically, what industry are you in, Donna? Maybe let me know that. I'll just let you know. So most industries, okay, VA specializing in Kajabi support. That's awesome. Most industries typically have about an 18 to 20% open rate. Depending on your email marketing system, you may get a little bit more. I'm sorry to tell you, Kajabi emails will probably have a little bit less than some. So the system can work on it a little bit better depending on what the system is, okay? A lot of it will come down to whether or not you have, you know, what kind of reputation that you have, what kind of content you have, who's on your list. Are they old and cold lists? Are they active and engaged? Are they actually your ideal client? Were they from before? So that's where a lot of that will come into play as to whether or not, you know, you have a good open rate. And so that is something that you can look at that way. I don't know what your industry is. So when you're looking at Donna, like, have you built an email list already? You're just starting. Okay. So making sure that you have a really good lead magnet that attracts people will be helpful. So for instance, I'm going to let Nicole here know. So Nicole's saying, what stats do you recommend people track? So one of the things that I have as a lead magnet, Nicole, is a Trats stacking template document. So if you go to peppermarketing.com/stats, or you just go under my resources tab on the website, you can get a free template for that. And it will give you some guidance on that. The one that we do in the course, in the program here, is a little more intense. We get into some other stuff in tracking it more for goals and results and like other aspects of it. But your basic ones are, you know, I like to look at like open rates of emails. I like to look at social media, community, blogs, top blogs, your stats with the search engines, some different ones like that. So that that freebie that I have on my website will get you started, Nicole, for sure. And then you can sort of take it from there. Natasha's put the link up in the chat there. So it's /free stats. I forgot the free part. But yeah, so Lisa, I think Lisa's having trouble getting that tip sheet link, Natasha. So we will, I'll email it to you, Lisa. Can you just tell Natasha your last name and we'll make sure we get that off to you. All right. And then Natasha, I got you here helping me, and now you're sharing links and going crazy. So I'm going to go back to some questions here.
It's all good.
Are you good there?
Let me just pull up
Okay.
my sheet of questions. Donna also had another question about asking what is a good balance amount of content types.
So that's something that's actually in my content planner and lesson. So I teach on types of content as business, sales, and persona content. So business, 40%, sales, 30%, and persona, 40% for a service-based business. It's a little bit different if you're looking at, if you had a store or a brick and mortar type of thing and products. So it would be a little bit different. When someone is buying you as the expert, as the specialist, that is the one that, really you've got to get out there and engage with people. You've got to share tips and information, which is the business stuff. And then you do sales. So calls to action to lead magnets or blog posts or things like that. So that's the good mix that I would recommend on that one. And I know Aaron was asking, is it plus tax or all in at $14.97? Aaron, the program is plus tax for Canadians because we do have to pay tax in Canada. So you can email me and I'll let you know what that is if you're interested in that. For people that are not in Canada, then there's no tax on that as well.
Awesome. There is a question about the program. If we cannot join this time, when would it be open again?
So this group is running from March to August. I will probably be opening another group in June as well, June or July. So you can look for it there. And this one will close for registration on March 1st. So you can sign up now. There's actually 2 lessons available right away. The big picture of online marketing and know your client, which is a pretty intense one. You get right into the Facebook group right away. And so you can get a little bit of a kickstart on what's going on in there. And then the lessons will come out once a week. Persona, yes, Donna. Persona means personal life? No, persona means you, okay? So for instance, I'll post stuff about, my cooking, or I'm gonna be on my, on a webinar coming up, I'm teaching a master class. I might talk about doing some self-care for myself and heading out. So that's the stuff that is like personal, professional, but you kind of have to decide how personal you want to get. You want to make sure that you're having a mix of it where people learn who you are, what you're about, to build that know, like, and trust factor. So that's what's more important about that. All right. Natasha, any other ones?
Awesome.
I'm trying to look through the chat here, but it's really going crazy here.
There is another question asking, what if you don't write well? I'm a business coach, not a marketer. So I find that sitting down to write anything is hard.
Okay, awesome. So with this, that's where I said, I really do believe that most people can write. It's learning how to figure out how to put an article together. So one of the lessons that we teach in this program, and it's something I have an article template that I've built. I've used it over the years with myself and my clients. And it helps you put together, all the pieces you're going to need in it. But I also have an exercise that I did a few years ago where I have a sheet where you fill out a bunch of questions. And then I have another sheet where you take the answers to those questions and fill them in the areas where I told you. And what you end up with is actually a written blog post of top 3 whatevers that it might be. And I have a video lesson of that, of us doing that live with somebody on a call once. And it really will help you understand how it's not as hard as you think to write and create the content. I really do believe most everyone can write. You might need a proofreader, you might need a little help in that way, but it's really just learning a trick of, thinking about what you teach your clients and what you work with them on and what they want to know and what that ideal client wants to know, and learning and understanding how to put that into play with them and take it out of your head, out of the words that you typically say to your people, and putting it into words that you can put into a blog post that you can then put into an email newsletter and then on social media, and you can make a video out of it, all of that. So I really do believe that that can happen.
Awesome. Marcia also had a quick question earlier. Can you have more than one lead magnet on your site?
You can. Sometimes people have different ideal clients. So you might have different programs or services. So it just depends on what your setup is, kind of what your funnel looks like and what offer you're trying to get people to. It can be confusing if you have too many, 100%. But the key is making something and really having that one key one out there that you promote all the time. That is the one that you have front and center. People can find it on your homepage. People can find a page for it. They see it in your posts on social media. It's in your calls to action. So making sure that you have all of that in play is the critical part of that. So that's the biggest piece of that. I hope that makes sense, Marcia. Let me know if not. All right.
Let me just have a quick look.
Okay. Oh, Donna, don't worry about the questions. No problem at all.
It's all good. For the strategy sessions with the bonus items, what do you cover in those sessions?
Okay. So the strategy sessions you can use for what you want to use. They're available if you pay in full or if you sign up by midnight tonight. So most people will use them. Typically will use the first one if you get two to cover, really it can be whatever you want. I guess I've done it when I think back, I've done them for so many different things for the different reasons for different people. It just it changes. I know with Anne, we talked about her ideal client and honing in on her marketing message and the transformation she gives and really getting clear on who the ideal client was. And then talking about how that matches with what she had on her website at the time. So it's really up to you. And for those that do qualify for two, you can actually put them together as one. And you don't have to use them together, though. You can do 2 30 minutes, one hour. It's up to you. But really, it's about covering what's important for you and what you need to move forward, I guess is what I would say for that.
Perfect. Nicole asks, even if we sign up tonight with the payment plan, we still get the bonuses?
Yes. So Nicole, let me just look here. Of course, I moved it too far away here. There we are. So if you sign up tonight by midnight with the payment plan, you would get the blog website setup review, the marketing content planner, the blog article review, the social media profile review, and a strategy session. So yeah, so with the payment plan, Nicole, you would get everything except the bonus one, which is with the full pay option. Whoops, I moved my mouse the wrong way. Sorry about that.
There's another question from Tammy. She doesn't have a website yet. Is it important to have one before joining the academy?
Not necessarily, Tammy. There are a lot of what we talk about in the foundations is what you need to have on your website and how you want to have it set up. That's part of what I go through in the blog setup review is I'm actually looking at your website. Okay, I say blog on it, but I will look at the website part of it. Because you want to make sure that you're having the critical elements that you need. When I talk about marketing not working and the foundations broken, it's typically because people have stuff that aren't working on the website that they end up then needing to go and change and review and do. So what we could be focusing on for you, and one of the things that I do at the beginning as well, is I get everyone to fill out a questionnaire so that I understand what your business is about, who you're trying to serve, what you have to offer. And I'm getting a little background information on it from you so that I can guide you along the way, because part of what we're going to be doing is putting some goals into place so that what you learn there is going to actually help you achieve those goals that you're setting. Your marketing really has a purpose behind it. When we talk about the effective content, anything that you put into that and create has to be achieving some of those goals that you have, whether they're business or marketing goals. They have to be in there. So that could be part of what we look at for you in that aspect of it, Tammy, 100%. Thank you, Linda. Great information, no problem. Well, Natasha, that looks like all the questions. So we will finish our session here today. And I just want to thank everybody for taking the time to join me here and spend this time to learn more about creating marketing content that converts for you, and letting me share a little bit of information on the Content Marketing Masters Academy as well. I'd love to help you get a little farther and faster with your business if you wanted to become a member of the program. So just remember that we have some extra bonuses that will end tonight at midnight, and I'll be sending you this replay afterwards as well, so that you've got all the details and you can read or look at the video if you want to go back and look at some of the lessons. We'll send a link to the handout as well if you didn't get that during the session too. So I think that's it for the day. I don't see any other questions here, so we'll leave it at that. And hopefully I will see you all in the Academy. And if not, again, connect with me online on social media, Pepper at Marketing, and say hello. Let me know what you thought of the class. And also feel free to look at the content planner that we have, because as I said, that is the bonus to all of this, making sure that you are doing some sort of plan for what you're doing with your marketing. If you want to go really deep and get into all of your foundations and get into more of the plan and how I can help you, the Marketing Masters Academy is probably your best way to do that. We can spend 6 months together and you will come out on the end of that really confident about your marketing, knowing how it all works, how it connects with your foundations online, so you can do more with your business. Have a great day, everybody, and I will see you later.